Hello, my name is Carmen Davenport, and you have tuned in to Get the Bag, Business Assets and Gains, where we talk to local businesses about their stories, successes, and some challenges, maybe. Today, we have with us Temicka Moore, Executive Chef and CEO of Sincere Catering and Events. How are you today?
I am good today.
Good. You have a good day.
I did. I had a good day today.
Okay, good.
Can't complain.
Good. You know, when the week starts off good, it's a
It
good
has
sign.
to.
It's a
It
good
has
sign.
to.
Okay,
It
so
has to.
before we dive into all the things that Chef Tweet, as she is affectionately called, yeah, as before we dive into it, I always like to talk about the person behind the product or service. So tell us who Temicka is.
Temicka. Well, Chef Tweet, a lot of people always ask me where that comes from. Tweety Bird is my childhood nickname.
Okay.
And my uncle gave me that as a child because I had no hair and I had a big head with rosy red pink lips.
Oh,
So it just kind of stuck. I tried to hide it from people until eighth grade. And he walked in the house and my friends were there. And he called me Tweety. He said, "Hey there, Tweety Bird." And I was like, "What?"
who
So from
is
that
Tweety
day
Bird?
forward, I was known in the city as Tweet.
Tweety.
Nobody really knew me by Temicka unless they had grew up with me prior to that.
Got you.
I went back and forth with whether or not I wanted to keep that name in the professional world once I stepped into catering. Because when I had my daycare, it was Miss Temicka.
Got you.
But when I stepped into catering, I was like, do I want to do Chef Temicka? Do I want to do Chef Tweet? Do I not want to um, alienate certain customers? And the reason I say that is because when I was in college, when I had Temicka Moore on my resume and would try to get jobs, I couldn't get them. And when I was about to graduate from college, I couldn't get jobs. And I had an impressive resume. So I took the CKA off my name and just left Timmy Moore. And the phone started
Are you
ringing.
kidding me?
Now, discriminatory at its finest,
Wow.
But the phone started ringing. So I kind of still use that name sometimes, especially when I'm ordering food. I just put Timmy Moore or something like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm not hiding who I am. These are my businesses now. It's not like I'm going to work for somebody else.
Mhm.
And once they taste the food, it won't matter what my
That's
name
right.
is. So it's been more about me building my brand sincere, more than the name Chef Tweet. In the beginning, it was like Chef Tweet this and Chef Tweet that. I was like, you know what? I'm just about to start building sincere. I started with
Mhm.
sincere, then I kind of did a rebrand and went to sincerely Chef Tweet, and then I went back to sincere.
Got you.
It has proven to be more profitable, um, much more business coming in.
Wow.
Fortunately and unfortunately, I just Tamika, Ebony, and Keisha are the top three discriminating names in the country, and that was back in 2000. So
Wow.
that's kind of what made
I didn't
me.
know that.
Yep, I seen a Harvard study that they did a study and said that those were the three discriminated names in
That's
the country
crazy.
at that time. So but I refuse to leave it off now because I'm a self-made mogul via God. That's what I always tell people. So why should I hide who I am? If
That's right.
you either gonna love the food or you either gonna love me both, or you just won't be my customer.
That's right. I'm not. I'm really not mad about that
Not at
at all. I'm not mad about
Not
it
at
at
all.
all. So tell us how you got into cooking. Like what? How did Chef Tweet even? How were you? How did it? Was it born?
It was born at Indiana University when I was a student. I was there from '94 to 2000. And in
Okay.
'99, I started actually cooking in '96. Just cooking for friends, sorority sisters. Shout out to my sorors, Sigma Gamma Rho.
Ah.
Um, and the IU football players. They were
Mm.
like, "Hey, Tweet, can you make us some chicken and macaroni and cheese?" 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Recruits coming through, stuff like that. Sometimes during the day, but they always knew that I would cook chicken at any time of the night or day.
Wow.
So by '99, I was like, I should start selling this, and I called it Tweets Chicken, like no other.
Okay.
That was my motto. And it's funny because my best friend a few years ago, she was like, "Do you know I still got your flyer that you used to put up around
Oh
campus?"
wow.
And she sent it to me, and I was like, "Wow, I'm a long way from that." Once I graduated, my degree was in political science,
Okay.
and so I did not pursue culinary or step into cooking or anything. I had my daughter, so I had to step into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I gotta go get a job. I gotta take care of my baby. But I would have two dinner parties every year. Sea Soul Super Bowl and seafood in September. And so there would be 40, 50 people running around my house,
Wow.
me making 20 different seafood dishes of some sort and size. And that's really how Chef Tweet was born. They was like, Chef Tweet, Chef Tweet. I never really thought about becoming a real chef,
Even though you love cooking.
even though I love doing it.
Hmm.
23 years ago, because I just looked at this actually, I was like, you know what? I want a bed and breakfast. And it was a recession, and nobody was traveling. So a bed and breakfast just didn't make sense
Right.
at the time. So few years passed. I'm originally from Fort Wayne, but I've been in Indianapolis 20 years. Again, by this time, have two more kids. Now I really got to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't think I was like, step out and do what you got to do. So, but I went to corporate America and I was like, you know what, this is not it. I'm making $13, $14 an hour, three kids. I'm on Section 8. I'm on CCDF.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on child care assistance. I'm like, this cannot be life. But I also got a degree and I knew I was intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what are you going to do? I stepped out on faith, opened up my daycare,
Okay.
which I just sold last year in May after 15 years.
Mm.
And it was because I couldn't dedicate my time to it because it really was not my passion. It was my purpose.
Got you.
And it was going downhill without me being there. And I was like, before I let my name go in the mud, I'm going to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I did because I was knee deep into catering by then. 2017 actually, I went to culinary school, completed it by 2019. And I immediately did my internship with Chef Toby at Traders Point Creamery. And that was all farm to table. It was a outstanding, a tremendous experience. And I hit the ground running after that.
Wow.
I launched a catering company, started letting people know. I was just putting dishes that I was cooking at home on Facebook, and they was like, where can we get the plate? I'm like, coming soon, And then I started the catering company. And I'm like, now you can, hire me for catering. Go to this website. And that was during the pandemic. And that's where you came into my life. And I just started, tagging myself on Black Dollar. All my friends are tagging me on Black Dollar. People who knew I could cook. And I skyrocketed. My stock went up. I started catering for a millionaire named DeMont Nixon. Nobody was allowed to have parties in big venues. They were having parties in Airbnbs, rented out mansions, yachts.
Wow.
They were calling me to come cater and cater for whatever small gathering they were having. And I took off.
Wow.
I took off. I did a brunch for him in LA. That was my first time traveling and cooking for somebody. And everything that could have went wrong, but nobody knew it but me and my cousin.
Okay.
And we fed 200 people.
Wow.
And they had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. And they gave me a standing ovation. And I went in the kitchen and just cried. Like no other. Because they had no idea all of the obstacles that we had to go through to
make
execute that event. But I learned a lot. And I took that experience as like, I'm going to never go through that again. And that was really the true birth of Sincere Catering. The true birth. And then, coming back to Indianapolis after coming off that and having the footage to be able to post. And then with Black Dollar growing the way that it did, every time somebody needed a caterer, they were tagging me. It was me and my mentor. I'm like, Real Taste Catering. He's one of my mentors.
Okay.
Yeah, Chef Mark is one of my mentors because my mentor was Chef Neely. And he is actually my stepmom's brother-in-law.
Okay.
And George, and he told them to take care of me because he had cancer and was dying.
Oh, wow.
And when I catered his repast, they were all there. Aww. And it was like, I understand you catering the repast. You need any help? And I'm like, no, I got it. You can help me serve though, because at that time I didn't have servers.
Right.
I was just getting started, and I nailed it. So they all stood beside me. Chef Sam Brown, Chef Mark Webster, all of them. Chef Hollis Brown, Chef Hollis Thomas. They all had my back. And to this day, I can call them and say, hey, what you think about this? Am I handling this correctly? And they made sure I was on point. And I truly believe that that is the reason why I was successful so fast. Because it's not easy to come into the catering game and just be everywhere. You
Right,
know,
right.
you might get a couple of contracts here and there until more people eat your food and then you grow.
Yeah.
You know, but I love them for that because they really took care of me in George's absence.
Oh, a shout out to your support system.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Big
shout out to
time.
them.
And I do, and I can call them for anything. You know, anything. They'll scold me like, "Are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why would you do this?" You know, I wanted to be the executive chef at somebody else's restaurant, and Chef Mark was like, "Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite restaurant?" And I was like, Patachou, Cafe Patachou. He said, "Who's the chef?" I was like,
Ooh.
I don't know. He was like, "Why would you go build somebody else's
Got
dream
you.
when you already have momentum? Don't go build somebody else's, build your own." And I was like, wow. And I'm glad that I didn't because right after that, right after that, I acquired my event center, which housed my catering kitchen. And I went from being what I call a regular caterer to the corporate caterer or the people's caterer.
Right.
You know, acquiring contract after contract after contract. By 2022, I was a preferred caterer for Indiana University. I still am.
I saw that. Congratulations again.
And I'm praying right now. They finally invited me to bid to be a dedicated caterer for the Kelly School of Business, and I pray that I get it. I just submitted that bid yesterday.
Okay.
You know, so I'm also a preferred caterer for Ivy Tech, for Indianapolis and Anderson. You know, I do cooking classes at Purdue. And
oh wow, you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I tried to. You know, it was my goal to be a corporate caterer because in the private sector, when the economy goes down, so does the private sector. But in the corporate sector, if they're usually spending 20,000 and budgets get tight, they're going to spend 10. So my dad always taught me oatmeal is better than no
That's
meal.
right. That's right.
You know, and I don't even like.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I don't even like oatmeal.
I love that though.
It's the truth. Like, if you're not gonna eat anything, if some oatmeal's on the table, you're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something he taught me. So for me, it was about positioning myself for longevity, because again, when times are hard, people are not there. Your family's cooking, just like at repasses. If you don't have enough money, everybody's pitching in.
Yeah.
Somebody's bringing the chicken. Somebody's bringing the macaroni. You know, so I was intentional about getting corporate contracts, and I do. I have over 50 partnerships with corporations here in the city, but I'm trying to get exclusive contracts now. So now it's about stepping to the next level.
Okay.
You know, making sure I'm in position to get the WNBA contracts, the NBA contracts. I was up for the NBA contract, the NBA All-Star contract, and they moved venues because they couldn't come to an agreement.
Got you.
And I lost that contract. It was $150,000 contract.
Wow.
But I was like, you know what? At least I know my names are being mentioned in the right rooms.
That's right.
And now I can position myself for greater. You know, so and I'm on that. Like at all times.
Well, we're gonna claim it today.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and claim it today. Exclusive.
Exclusive.
We want to be exclusive.
Dedicated.
Okay. We're gonna claim it's already done.
Yes, ma'am.
It's done.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you have coming up? Tell us all the things that you have coming up. I'm personally excited. I love your food. And we're gonna first let's talk about what's on this table. Let's talk about what's on the table.
The latest project is Sincere Sauce, which I've been wanting to release Sincere Sauce to be sold to the public for like 3 years.
Wow.
But my flaw, everybody has kryptonite. Mine's is being a procrastinator. And I have ADHD. My mind is always racing on new things while still focusing on current things. And everybody's like, the sauce, it doesn't matter where I go. If they eat the shrimp and grits, if they eat the lettuce wraps, they're like, can I get the sauce though? Like, what is the sauce?
Wow.
And I'm like, and then I would step into vineyards and like, don't come in the door without that sauce. Or they'll say, is there any sauce left after the event? And I would just hand it to people because I know I can go home and make it again. And they wouldn't care. They would put it in paper cups, plastic cups, with napkins and rubber bands over the top. So I was like, you know what? I need to sell this separately. I never really thought that I would sell Sincere Sauce. It's just a sauce that I came up with when I used to do my crab boils for my seafood parties. And then I perfected it, of course, over time. But people love it. You know, they love it. I just released it like a month ago. And I sold 65 units in the first day.
So we can get this
Yes,
now.
it's on my website.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm glad you said that because I didn't know.
Yes, ma'am.
But sincere, it's called the
Sincere
sincere
sauce
sauce. And you can get this on, what's the website?
on thesincerechef.com.
Sincere, the sincere, girl, the
Thesincerechef.com.
sincerechef.com.
Yes.
You can get the sauce, y'all, the
Yes.
sauce. And it sounds like you can put it on everything.
You can. It pairs very well with poultry, seafood, crab boils, fried chicken, fish,
Wow.
pork chops, any type of shrimp and grits, oxtail and grits, lamb chops and grits, you name
Wow.
it. Um, Lettuce wraps. Like it really is so good on my lettuce wraps. Because I do Southwest veggie, salmon, shrimp, and chicken, and then
Okay.
I just do a drizzle over the top.
Okay.
So people love it for that. But really, you can put this on anything you put hot sauce on. But
Okay.
this happens to be a sweet and spicy garlic butter sauce.
Okay. And does it come in different sizes
It
or is
does. It
this
comes
the.
in a 16 ounce and a half gallon size.
Okay.
And so the 16 ounce is a plastic bottle, but this is the collector's bottle.
Love it, love it, love it. Okay. I want to dig into this, y'all, but we're gonna talk a little bit more about Chef Tweet before we do. So let's talk about what you've got going on. What do you have coming up?
So I am currently in transition a little. Catering is not going to go anywhere. But as you know, I had two event centers. My very first one that I let that one go in December of last year because once I opened up the second event center, which was next door to it, the Blanc Suite, it seemed like everybody stopped booking the Gray Suite.
Really?
Yes, they did, and it's because the Gray Suite had um, gray hardwood floors and gray
And the
walls.
chandeliers. Is that the
And
room
the
that had the
chandeliers,
chandeliers
yes,
in
it
there?
did. So a lot of people like the aesthetic based on what their theme was. But then the Blanc Suite was a white concept with chandeliers, marble floors. They're like, oh no, I need this one. And so I priced it so that if you couldn't afford the Blanc Suite, you could afford
Right.
the Gray Suite. Didn't matter. People were like, no, I'll find the money. So
Wow.
my bookings went down because they knew that they could choose that suite, and the only way that they were choosing the gray suite is if the white suite was not available. So I was like, you know
Wow.
what? And then my friend who owns the daycare next door, shout out to Carmen, wanted to expand her daycare, and I was like, you know what, Carmen, you can have it back because she gave it to me 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
She used to have an event center in there, and she was like, and then she had a daycare. And she was like, hey, I'm about to get rid of it. And I know you've been looking for somewhere. And so when I turned down the executive chef position that I mentioned earlier, the next day she called me. She was like, I'm about to let it go. I'm about to tell the landlord that I got somebody to take it over. I talked to them. She talked to them on Monday. I talked to them on Monday. I went in and signed the contract on Wednesday, and it was mine.
Wow.
God always has my back. Like always has my back.
Wow.
And I could have easily became an executive chef somewhere and just had a salary, but that gave me the opportunity to grow my business. So I gave it back to her in December and just been managing the White Suite. The White Suite was always meant to be my restaurant and lounge. It was not. I was only letting it be an event center for the first year to recoup my investment.
Gotcha.
And then I acquired a liquor license, and then the landlord was like, I don't want you to put a liquor license over here because of the liability and things like that. I was like, you know what? I got to make some different moves. So I've had a liquor license now for a year, but it's been in escrow. And just kind of like, where can I put it? Really, I was trying to convince them to let me have it there because I had invested.
You already
so
have the
much money,
space, right?
and my heart was set on it. It was perfect. It was the way my vision from 23 years ago is what that is. So it was going to be a few more finishing touches, and adding a touch of blue and gold, to it, as all my businesses are. But I can't do it there. I do still have the event center, but I'm in the process of selling it.
Okay.
So I've met with several buyers. So hopefully, I would say within the next 30 days, that will transition to somebody else. Hopefully, my friend, because she's been looking for a venue and she would be great, in there. I am about to open up Sincere Brunch and Soul on 38th Street, 38th and Hawthorne, adjacent to New Directions Church.
Okay.
that black building that everybody always sees over there, and about to take possession November the 1st and fully renovate that, and it's going to look like Sincerely Blanc, the event center. In terms of the
Wow.
aesthetics, my thing has always been let's bring elegance to the hood.
I,
Why not?
I love it.
Why not?
I love it.
They don't even didn't even know I had the event centers over there. Like I had no idea, and it's so nice. It's like just because it's in the hood doesn't mean that it can't be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why do we just do the basics or the bare minimum in the hood? Like to me, the whole point of staying in community, staying and building up the hood, building another Black Wall Street is to bring that elegance. Because
That's
to
right.
me, if you bring the elegance, the people will come.
That's right.
And I've proven that.
That's
I've
right.
been on 21st and Arlington for 4 years and had no problems. Police didn't have to be called or anything like that. And I thank God for that and that protection because we all know that that could happen.
Yeah.
I have managed clubs for people. I have a consulting company as well. I've done that for the last 13 years. That's Sincere Life Consulting. So I go
Okay.
into businesses, restaurants, clubs, and um, build their companies from implementation to the end. Initiation to the end.
Oh wow.
I've been helping people make millions of dollars for years. And I'm like, it's time for me to
That's
step
right.
into
Okay.
the restaurant realm because I kind of never really wanted a restaurant. It was really about the bed and breakfast. Nobody's going to bed and breakfasts anymore because of the rise of Airbnb.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same concept minus the bed.
Right.
Because it was my chef instructor in school that was like, you do understand to have a bed and breakfast that you have to wake up early. I was like, what? Like, because I wasn't graduating from my youth because I couldn't make it to my 8 o'clock classes. So I was like, this is not going to work. Like, yeah, no, I barely even take early morning caterings now. The price has to be right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, who am I kidding? I'm going to wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to cook for anybody. So I scrapped the B&B idea, did the catering, but I'm going to it's still going to be live music, Anybody who knows me personally knows I love live music.
I do
I
too.
love good food and I love a great environment.
Yes.
And that's what I've always tried to create. And that's what I'm about to create there as well.
Okay.
And shout out to Scooty, little Scooty William King. He's a mogul, and he's a young mogul at that.
Okay.
But I've been, working alongside of him as his assistant and or consultant, really, as in some shape or form for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, come get the bar. And I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want to be in that area. Like I'm scared, but that area, but that area is on the up and up because Eskenazi just built the
Yep,
hospital
right up the
over
street.
there.
Yep.
The Marion County Health Department is about to build over there. And it's crazy because the Marion County Health Department is next to me in the 21st Arlington Plaza.
Okay, yeah.
And they're about to move over there too.
Wow.
And then it's like with Shiloh Baptist over there, New Direction over there. I need the church crowd, and it's crazy because a lot of people don't know that I'm a recovering alcoholic and that I have been sober for 5, almost 6 years.
Congratulations. Yes.
No relapses, just pure grit and putting anything that could go wrong into my cooking into my food. It is my heaven on earth. Literally, like nothing is wrong when I'm in the kitchen. Like, man, it's the people. Even if I'm running behind, I'm still peacefully running behind.
Okay.
Rather than timid, like, oh my God, or things like that. Like, so it's like for me, my sister brought something to my attention just the other day, and she was like, maybe God blocked you from being able to put the liquor license over on 21st Arlington for a reason. And because everybody knows I've been so heartbroken about not being able to put it over there. She was like, but I want you to remember something. Maybe God doesn't want you to contribute to other people's alcoholism, be it that you're a recovering alcoholic. Shout out to my sister, Danita Barnes. First lady, Danita Barnes. She can always keep me right. My little sister. And she was like, now, it doesn't mean that church folk don't have drinks, because they do.
Yeah.
She said, and it's okay for you to sell it, but how are you going to serve God in this endeavor? She's like, you always incorporate God into everything. How are you going to do that? I was like, you know what? Good point. So I had to think about that. So, we're going to do Friday Night Live R&B only, singers, bands, live music, karaoke, spoken word, that type of vibe.
I love it.
With, of course, Sincere's food.
Okay.
You know, Chef's Tweet's food.
You can always do mocktails.
Oh no, I'm the queen of mocktails.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere I go, that was something I had to do to feel like I still belong with my friends. Because when I was going through my sobriety, that was the hardest thing. I was the one who was getting everybody drunk. I was the one who was the life of the party.
Right.
You know, so me going now and I'm subdued, I don't have anything in my system. You know, I'm like, how am I going to be able to still have fun and be who I once was? And that was the rise of mocktails. You know, so every time I go to any restaurant or any bar, because I still go to bars with my friends and get fried chicken wings, I say, you tell the bartender to make their own special mocktail. Almost every bartender has a mocktail in mind that they wish they could put on a menu, and I learned that. And especially with me managing bars, everybody has a specialty. So I just let them do their thing and freestyle. So a lot of restaurants are now starting to put mocktail menus together. So we will have a full mocktail menu, of course.
Okay, good.
There are a lot of people don't know this, but Lauren's alcohol free and caramel is nothing but mocktail liquor. She has fake rum, fake vodka, fake this.
I didn't know that.
And it's all natural. It's made from grapefruit and, vegetables.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it is. But it tastes like vodka, but it's not. And they have, alcohol-free wine. They have alcohol-free beers, things like that. So I want people like me who may be recovering to still be able to come out, eat good, have a good time, and not just be only have the choice of strawberry lemonade.
Yeah.
So that's going to be promoted heavily at the restaurant as well. But Sundays will be dedicated for the Lord. So that's going to be Sincere Soul Sundays, Soul Food Buffet, gospel music, of course, gospel karaoke, because I need the church crowd, and I need to look at the camera on this. I need the church crowd to know that even though it might be a bar in there, I am welcoming you with open arms. Please come and not, look at that as that I'm going to have that type of crowd. I am not. A lot of people don't know I'm 49 years old. I'm about to be 50 years old. I have no desire to have the younger crowd.
Right.
I'm not going to be open late. I'm going to be open from like 10 or 11 to 8 p.m. I'm only going to be open late on Fridays for the R&B Live, and that's it.
I actually like that because I think one of the things, I'll be 54 this year, and one of the things that I found over years is all the clubs that start out, you got to be 35 and over, always ends up 21 and over and shut down in the next 5 years.
Because they want the money.
Yeah.
Yep. And so because I've managed clubs for the last 12 years on and off, I know that I don't want that crowd.
Yeah.
I know emphatically. I've been in the club to 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning after we done closed at 3, doing this, I have no desire to do that. And we don't really have anywhere for a more mature crowd to go.
We don't.
Now, shout out to Chef Tia, Baby Dookie. At Shadow Lounge. I love going to Shadow Lounge because I love Tia and I love Dookie. I love their environment, but I still would like to have my environment be more mature than that.
I love that.
But I love their concept. I mean, they're doing numbers. I even had consultations. I just talked to Tia at Daptoberfest Saturday because I was a vendor there. Shout out to her. Shout out to the chefs in the city that don't gatekeep. Shout out to the chefs in the city that if we're all in the room together, it's all love and we don't see each other as competition.
I appreciate that. Yes.
It's already hard enough for us to break into the industry. Shout out to Chef Vicky Massey and Chef Felicia, for the Black Chef Collectives. I'm a member there, even though I haven't been to the meetings lately because I've been so busy. But shout out to them for making sure that we get in spaces that is so hard for us to get into, and they are our peer advocates too. Like every time I see Felicia, I'm like, what you think about this? What you think about that? You know, and she is always a wealth of information.
Wow.
I'm talking about Chef Brady as well. You know, all of them are so willing to be like this, and this. You know, and it opens your eyes sometimes to things that even though you've been in the game a long time, you know, that you didn't even consider. Like I told people, you have to always be constantly learning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can never think you just know it all. Even though I got several mentees under me as well, you know, in Indianapolis and Cincinnati, you know, it's they under me because I would like to give them the game early because they're young, you know, and I came in the game a little later, you know, and it's crazy because they're doing so well, you know, and I just keep watching them elevate, and that makes me prouder than anything. Like even with my some aspects of my consulting, like with business credit, business funding, you know, up and coming chefs, I don't charge them.
Wow.
I do not charge them. All I do is tell them is, if I've been a blessing to you, shout me out. That's
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's all I
I
need.
love that.
That's all I need.
I think most businesses wish they had that kind of safe space.
Absolutely.
I think that's kind of like a dream, right?
It is. It is. Because there's so many people that they're scared that you're going to outdo them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I don't see competition. You know, people say, or everybody has competition, or like you know, when you're developing marketing plans and SWOT analysis, it's like who's your competition? Nobody is my competition. Nobody. I'm in my own lane.
I know that's
I create
right.
my own motion. Whatever God tell me to do, I'm gonna go do it. I can't worry about you at all. And for me, if it's about competition, then maybe the best man win.
Oh.
And if I don't win, it wasn't mine anyway. One of my mentors, Dion Miller, man, she was my mentor really for the daycare game. But she taught me this long time ago. What's for you is
It's
for
for you.
you.
Yeah.
And can't a soul take it away
That's
from
right.
you if God put his stamp on it. And I have never forgot that. So I don't see competition. I wouldn't care if you was higher than me or coming up. I'm gonna treat you the same.
Right.
I'm gonna give you the game the same. And if you are higher than me, I'm coming to you because I'm humble. I'm gonna learn whatever I need to learn from you. Like you have to be in the right room sometimes in order to do that, and you can't be timid about it.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I went to the back chefs collected that. Like, why do you want to be a part of the American Culinary Federation? And I was like, I'm timid because I know I'm not cut to be an executive chef for real. I got an Achilles heel. It's plating. I have to bring other people into play for me. I'm creative in terms of how can I layer this flavor and make it pop
Right.
in your mouth. That's what I focus on. I let other people do what they great at. I'm not great at that. You know, my daddy always told me, what you ain't great, you pay somebody to do.
Yeah.
You know, so shout out to all the chefs that don't gatekeep.
Yes.
Shout out to all the chefs that don't hate, because there's some chefs out here that be hating. And I can't believe it. To me, as black women, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know, why would you do that? You know, but I stay blessed because I bless others. You know, I feed the homeless. You know, if I got food left over from an event and the customer tell me that they don't want it, it's either going to my staff or it's going to the homeless. I live off Virginia Avenue, and the camp is 1 block away from me. I just go and just hand out the boxes, you know, and just do what I do. You know, and shout out to Jasmine Joyner because she do her big one, feeding the homeless as well.
She does. She does. I see
She
her
got a
on
heart for
there.
the people too. I like people who got a heart because you can't forget where you came from. I
Yeah.
don't care how much money y'all make. I remember not being able to, you know, buy my kids a Happy Meal. I remember not being able to get from, you know, paycheck to paycheck for real. You know, and I never forgot that. That's why I will always have something on my menu that will be a small amount. I'm the queen of the $10 per person package. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
You know the one thing I can say is the name, your name, Sincere Catering, fits who I see.
That was the goal.
Yeah, I see so much passion and sincerity and authenticity in you all the time. All the time,
that is my motto: authentic, passion, sincerity.
Oh, I didn't, but
go look on my website.
I believe you. I believe you.
Yes,
so before we get out of here, I want to make sure that people know who you are, how to find you. Talk about this sauce again, and then we're gonna let these lamb chops take us out of here.
The lamb chops walking out the you can find me on Facebook at Sincere Catering and Events or Temicka Chef Tweet More. You can't be my friend on Temicka Chef Tweet More because I have too many, but you are more than welcome to follow me. You can also find me on Instagram at Sincere Catering. My website is thesincerechef.com. And of course, you can get my famous world class sauce on thesincerechef.com. We ship worldwide and nationwide.
Okay. You guys heard it here. And before we get out of here, is the sauce on the...
It is not. You have to eat it without it first, and then you have to put this on there.
Okay. So
Oh,
before we get out of here, you know I'm Carmen Davenport. This is Get the Bag, Business Assets and Gains. And we're going to let Chef Tweet's Sincere Sauce take us out. So you want me to taste it first?
Yeah, you can put on the lid. Yeah, taste it first. Then I'm going to put some on there. You got to taste the glaze first.
You sure this ain't got no sauce on it?
No, that's my glaze, my secret glaze. That's my lamb chop glaze.
Okay.
That's different, baby.
Okay.
There you go.
Baby. Tune in next time.
You can get those lamb chops at Sincere Brunch and Soul.
Sincere Brunch and Soul coming soon.
Coming soon.
Carmen Davenport, we Get the Bag. We're out.